tanks.
Go.
H tanks.
Go.
Software.
Go.
QC.
Go.
Weather.
Go.
Range.
Go.
All DS go for flight. Godspeed, Astraeus.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throttle up. 0. Liftoff. We have liftoff. MC operators move to section 1.1. Fast launch procedures.
Down right.
And we have stage separation.
Tamam, authorization.
Was that?
Hello everyone, this is Isaac, CEO of Genesis Space, coming to you live from Genesis Launch Center at North Carolina. You can see here Astraeus on the pad, loading with propellant. Currently we are tracking no issues except for a propellant conditioning issue on one of the tanks.
Hello everyone, I'm Hawa. I'm the assistant commentator for today. Welcome back for anyone that joins us from yesterday, where we had engine 3 abort on the pad, which caused the scrub of the mission. We're going for another shot today, hopefully with a liftoff. As Isaac pointed out, we're loading, tracking only a small issue with conditioning. But let's just wait for the MC to go through the issue, fix it, and hopefully have a smooth countdown.
We are coming up on T-minus 25 minutes. We will start the methane load on the second stage then.
Exactly.
Yesterday we did have an abort here. This is our second attempt. As Hawa said earlier, we had an engine abort. We have fixed this issue and are going again today.
And again, I'd like to point out that since the T-minus 1 hour mark, we've only tracked one issue, which is LOX temperatures that are not proper. Our team is still going through the issue. We should be good for launch. Hopefully, we get through it. I'd like to point out then that since yesterday's test, where we had a very tight window, today we have a more flexible count, which allows us to go for recycles in case of an abort.
Yep, this means in case we have an abort, we should be able to try again, or if we have any point we have to recycle to, we can recycle to that point and start the count again. You can see there that methane load has started on the second stage. You can see a small frost line there, and it grows as there's more fuel inside. There's also some white clouds coming off the first stage, which will be coming off the second stage later on. This is due to condensation because of how cold the rocket is. We are using cryogenic propellants like liquid methane and liquid oxygen, which are below negative 100 degrees Celsius.
Exactly, yeah.
Mission control has just started fast fill flow, which means we are now filling the tanks faster. We were in a slow fill before this.
You'll probably start to notice that the propellant lines are rising faster and faster as the propellant is flowing faster and faster as we increase the pressure in our lines. That is how I succeed fast flow. For now, let's just sit back and watch the rocket being loaded up with propellant. And hopefully see a liftoff today.
We have been notified there is another conditioning issue on another one of the tanks. Mission control will be on to fixing this.
Yep, we have a CH4 conditioning issue right now. Teams are currently going through it. Again, this is one of the downsides of working with cryogenic propellants is that you can have a lot of small issues like that with conditioning, which can get really annoying once they stack up. But we've got some time in the clock in case we need to hold for any conditioning. So let's just wait for the MC to go through it.
Yeah, we do even have time for recycle. So if we do happen to abort due to any issues like propellant conditioning, we can also recycle to the latest recycle point, which would be at, if we have an abort, it would be at 45 minutes. No, 15 minutes, sorry.
Yep. You can also see there's condensation coming off the second stage LOX tank. Again, as explained, this is the very cold liquid oxygen interacting with the air, which turns instantly into gas due to the temperature difference. It looks like our second stage LOX is about 2/4 of the way in. Going through a good prop load, not including the 2 minor conditioning issues. For people that didn't join us yesterday, this second test flight has a payload, GTRAD's weather satellite, which is going to be launched at a medium Earth orbit. As you can see here on your screens, there's a picture of it in our integration facility. This is the first payload commercial mission basically that Astraeus is going to conduct. It's a big milestone for us. And for anyone interested, we're also going to go over Astraeus in general, its statistics, its characteristics, the rocket itself, basically. Kind of a sheet with all the information on the rocket. So, Isaac, take it away.
Okay, so Astraeus is 41 meters tall. It runs on liquid oxygen and liquid methane, a very clean burning mixture and also very efficient. You have two stages. The first stage is designed to go back to the launch site and catch with some arms on the tower. Now, currently, these are not installed, as we did have one version of these before, but they were removed due to design issues. For this block of Astraeus, we will not be attempting any reuse, as we'll do that on another version called Astraeus X. It has other performance improvements and most notably autogenous pressurization.
Astraeus X is a version of Astraeus, which we learned from the original Astraeus to improve upon it. With each launch and with each test of Astraeus, we're improving our design, and Astraeus X is the culmination of all the tests we've done on Astraeus. It's all of what we've learned from it. Next up, we're going to speak about the Zeus engine. You can also take it, Isaac.
Okay, so the Zeus engine is the engine on Astraeus. It runs on methane and liquid oxygen, the same that as rocket, clean burning mixture and efficient. It uses full flow state combustion, quite new combustion cycle, which means this can be prone to failures, but also is extremely efficient. This means we can get a lot of thrust out of a small engine like this.
Exactly, it's a great technology.
Just hard to master.
Perfectly described. It's a light and small engine that can push you to big heights. Alright, T minus 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Still counting down smoothly.
We are nearing a point in the countdown, T minus 15 minutes. That's our next recycle point and also a potential hold point. The team can choose to hold there and with a planned hold to check on the vehicle more, but we do not believe this will happen as we are running through the count smoothly as of now.
All the minor propellant conditioning issues, if they're not resolved within this T minus 15 minutes mark, or if we don't invoke the hold, there's also going to be a hold at T minus 40 seconds for final checkouts on the vehicle, which will also include making sure conditioning is finished. So please keep in mind it's a planned hold at 40 seconds. And it's quite a necessary one to catch any issues before launch. As you can see on your screen, the second stage CH4 tank has some nice white clouds around it, condensation as we have explained earlier. Also looks like the first stage is very much filled with propellant right now.
Yes, we are nearing 3/4 of the way on the first stage propellant load. We expect the first stage load to finish first this time, with the second stage finishing later on.
We've just passed our last recycle point, T-minus 15 minutes, and we're still counting down smoothly. We're still waiting on an update on that propellant conditioning, if we didn't have one already. But those issues should be fixed by now. Alright, we've just had confirmation by the MC team. We're tracking no issues as of now. That means we're gonna go through a smooth countdown, hopefully.
So as we're nearing the launch, we should see a fin actuator test in about a minute and a half. Then you'll see the fins on the interstage move around.
Yeah, those fins on the interstage are used to control our rocket during our atmospheric descent, which, by the way, this rocket, at least this block, will not be reused, but Astraeus X, so the X block, will be reused by being catched. Astraeus is just experimenting on reuse right now. Without being catched, of course. Also, I'd like to add that T-minus 15 minutes is not the last recycle point. T-minus 5 minutes is. Meaning the clock can reset from T-minus 5 minutes after an abort. As you can see on your screens, rocket still sitting on the pad, tracking no issues, still counting down. We're basically at 3/4 of the propellant load on the first stage. Now let's just wait and see.
Coming up on fin actuator test here. You'll see it down here at the gray part of the rocket called the interstage. In about a minute and a half, we should expect the stage 1 engine chill. We chill down the engines to make sure that there's no thermal shock when we ignite them. That means that we put liquid oxygen slowly into the engine pipes and make sure it's chilled down.
Well explained. This is why we chill engines.
A minute after, we'll also see second stage chill down. That means that the interstage will have a vent, small vent that you'll see.
Okay, we're still waiting on that fins test. It will be coming up soon. Oh, my bad. We can't really see the test very well on our screens.
Expecting engine chill around now. You'll see a bunch of white vapor coming out of the engines. There you see it. Seeing second stage engine chill in around 15 seconds from now, you'll see a vent coming from the interstage.
Yep, you can look at that little crooked vent you'll see. It'll be pretty obvious. Crooked. Oh, there we go. That's the second stage chill.
Stage 1 locks load closeout.
Oh. And we've got from MC that the stage 1 LOX load is finished.
Next up, we'll see the first stage methane tank loading close out. We're currently in topping mode, making sure that it's staying at 100%.
We're still on track for an on-time launch right now.
If you're wondering what those little boxes are on the rocket, those are flight termination system boxes, basically explosives on the rocket in case we have to terminate it in flight. This means that going off trajectory and all that. This will be armed the right before flight at it'll be armed right before flight at 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Stage 1, stage 4 load closeout.
This means the first stage here is fully fueled. Now we're waiting for the second stage to be fully fueled.
T-minus 6 minutes and 19 seconds, still no hold. Still tracking no issues on the rocket, everything looks healthy. As of right now, in about 1 minute, we're going to be finishing LOX load on the second stage.
We do have confirmation there will be a hold at 45 seconds before liftoff. This to do final purging and pressing of the vehicle. We'll also be doing final checkouts, making sure there's no problems. We are nearing the completion of prop load now.
In a small instant, you're going to hear the callout for stage 2 LOX load closeout. meaning tanks on stage 2, LOX tank is going to be finished loading.
We're now seeing strong back retraction. This is to prepare it to retract fully after launch. We're just making sure the strong back is at a safe distance as of now.
Stage 2 LOX load closeout.
As you've heard, stage 2 LOX load is complete. Now just waiting on the CH4 callout, and we'll have prop load finished on our vehicle.
At around 3 minutes we should hear that. And
We're nearing
shortly
launch.
we have a TVC test too.
Pretty flawless countdown. TVC, or thrust vector control, is a technology used to control the rocket in flight using movement of the engines, which moves the direction of the thrust accordingly to control our rocket. As you can see right now, some nice chilly engines. And in a small moment, you're gonna hear CH4 tank gonna be fully loaded on Astraeus. You can see on your screens. CH4 and LOX are both fully loaded on Astraeus. As you've seen, a normal looking TVC test.
In a short time, the flight termination system is going to be armed. Now, after the 45-second hold is released, I will not be speaking anymore. How I will take over for the in-flight portion of commentary.
We're going through a smooth countdown right now. We're approaching that planned 45 seconds hold. As you can see right now, T-minus 50 seconds, we're approaching that 45 seconds planned hold. And during that hold, you're potentially going to see lines spurging, both on the strong back and on the pad. This is to ensure that we have no residual propellant into our lines. And there we go, there's our 45 seconds hold.
Yep, and we have now closed the valves. We have stopped the top-off load on the vehicle.
Now we're just waiting for the purge. Okay, we've just heard from MC that our purge is already completed. So now we're just waiting for final checkouts on the vehicle.
Currently polling in the MC team. We have the final pressurization of the vehicle.
Okay, small update. The MC team is currently going through a final briefing before launch.
All systems go. We're waiting for the hold release as of now. Now.
As you can see, countdown's resumed. Commentary team will
Genesis
go
all day,
silent.
go for launch.
As you've heard, we'll go for launch. Commentary team is now gonna go quiet. Enjoy the spectacle.
Godspeed, Astraeus, and GTRAD
20 seconds.
on its way to
Godspeed.
space.
15. 10. 9. Ignition. 7. 6. 4. 3. Liftoff. Vehicles pitching downrange.
As you can see on your screen, we've had successful liftoff of Astraeus on its way to space. As LD called, vehicle is currently pitching downrange. As you can see on your screens, we have some data on the vehicle, including the engines and the current fuel levels, speed and altitude. This helps you keep track of launch. Yep, we should be nearing max Q any moment now. And as you can see, we have max Q.
Let's go.
Vehicle breaking the speed of sound. Oh. And it appears engine 6 has flamed out. Do not worry, this is happen on a test flight. It sounds like we have multiple engines underperforming. Alright, the MC team is tracking a couple of engines having issues in the first stage, including TVC failures and underperformance. This shouldn't be too much of concern since we're already nearing stage 7. As you can see, MECO,
Go. Tail separation. And second engine startup.
and as you've heard and seen, second stage has started up and separated successfully. First stage is now gonna start a boost back burn.
Separation.
First stage has finished its boost back burn as the second stage is propelling itself into orbit.
Stage 1 and stage 2 FTS have been saved.
As you've heard, flight termination systems on both stages have been saved. As you can see, stage 2 is still running towards orbit.
I will mention that as I'm back right now for a short moment, the stage 2 does use a slightly outdated variant of the Zeus engine, Zeus 1. On the first stage, we use Zeus 1.5 with a noticeable plume change, as you can see.
But for now, Zeus 1 is doing its job. And the first stage has finished its mission, which is boost back, which has ended. And first stage is now just going to be destroyed on re-entry. Or this flight. Right now we're still tracking a nominal mission on stage 2. No issues. Burning its way through orbit. We still have nothing to report on stage 2. It's going through a smooth mission.
I will be periodically doing some commentating here. We are on a good trajectory as of now. We will be conducting 2 other burns later on in the mission, but this won't be streamed. We will update you guys on Twitter once it's done.
Second engine cut off.
At this moment, we're still listening to MC, waiting to know if we've reached the nominal orbital insertion. We're still listening up. Okay. And it sounds like from the MC comms that we have reached an off-nominal orbit, which isn't the desired orbit that the client wanted of medium Earth. We're still listening and trying to track the issue. We're currently trying to look for a fix.
Stand by. We are currently having sensor issues on velocity.
As you've heard, we might be having potential sensor issues on the speedometer. We're just waiting. As you can see in the stage 2 cameras, we saw the booster break up on re-entry.
As of now, we will be wrapping up the stream. Make sure to tune into the server or Twitter for updates. We'll see you guys soon.